How we doing, everybody? I don't think I need to introduce my guest today. I think everybody's here. Let's see how many people are here so far. We've got 10. That's a low amount, but we started a little bit early and people be coming in. Plus, unfortunately for Robert, let me make sure this is actually muted because this does to me quite often. Let's make sure. Oh, it's muted. That's awesome. Unfortunately for Robert, Alex at The Secret History Living in Your Aquarium has Rachel O'Leary tonight on his stream, and he starts in about a half an hour. So hopefully a lot of people come back and take a look at the replay because I get it. It's cool. Alex and Rachel O'Leary together. That sounds
Absolutely.
like a dream. And nothing against Robert, but I think both of those people have us beat. So
yeah.
I don't blame people for wanting to see that one. Anyways, Robert, let's see who do we have? We got John McKenzie. I'm looking to see what other mods are happen to be here. Looks like John's the mod. Maybe John could throw up Robert's link to his channel in there. Robert doesn't have a lot of subs yet, or check valves, or pineapples, or whatever you want to call them. Doesn't have too many yet, but he's got a lot of good content, and he does a lot of really cool stuff on different streams. So you really give him a shot. Go over and check out his channel. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And he's an awesome member of the Fish Fam, very supportive. And I've never once seen Robert say a negative thing about anybody. So another very positive person. Hey, Robert.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here. Well, let's start out. We'll do a little different tonight. I'm going to say a few things that I know about you already. So I know you live in Tennessee. What town do you live in Tennessee?
It's called Newport, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's roughly about 45 minutes. I want to say west of Knoxville.
Okay. So you're not too far from James then, from Fish Room Fever. He's close to Knoxville, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yes. See, like I think that James lives about 1 hour from me.
Okay, not too bad. Yeah. So there's quite a few Tennessee people, though, and I bet a bunch of them are going to show up here to support their fellow Tennessee Fish Mafia member, of which I'm an honorary member too, by the way. But
awesome.
So let's see, just a quick count of some of the more awesome people. I shouldn't say more awesome. Some of the people that stick in my mind. We've got Bob Kaler. We got Chattanooga Ed. We got James. We got Robert. We got
Tiffany White.
White. Ginger
Graves. Yeah.
Ginger Graves. We've got the two big fish stores that James and Ed go to, Aquatic Aesthetics and Aquamarine, I think.
No, I believe it's called the Aquatic Marine.
Aquatic Marine, okay.
And there's actually one more up there that I go to. It's like depending on what people you ask, they may talk bad about it or they may say it's great. It just depends. But but they call it the aquarium. It's actually really, really big.
I don't know that. I'm sure that those guys have talked about that, but I just I don't remember them talking about it. That's pretty cool that you've got so many around you, and you've got so many Fish Fam members too that are not too far away, and some of the better ones. No offense to anyone else, but
and see, actually, Sean at Peg Tech goes to that store.
Gotcha.
All because, and I found that out. Well, for one, because he on his channel he actually has a tour on his channel of that fish store.
Gotcha.
And this one day, I want to say it was about like a month ago. I was up there, and I was looking at some pistogramma Borleaz. I think that's the correct name. And then I didn't know it at the time, but he was actually standing right beside of me, and I didn't realize it until I heard him speak. And then I was like, Sean, Peg Tech, right? He goes, yeah. But you couldn't tell because the whole mask deal,
Yeah. So. And how can I forget Sean too? He's an awesome guy. And does Ro live pretty close to? Is she in Tennessee as well? Because I know her and Bob have done some videos together.
I think Ro lives in like Cleveland, Tennessee, or something like that. Or I think it's like Clinton, Tennessee, or Cleveland, one of the two.
She's in the area.
And if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it was John Cox or John Larson, but I think that one of them lives in Tennessee as well.
John Cox. I'm not sure about John Larson, but I know that John Cox does as well. So there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, there's a lot of. Oh, and how can we forget Ben Ochart now? He's also in Tennessee as well now.
Yep. He lives in Nashville.
Yeah, so you've got quite a few fish tubers or members of the.
And you know what? Another one just popped up in my head. We got Catfish Terry.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well.
Mississippi.
No, he actually lives in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. I want to say.
So there's a ton of them. That's
yeah.
I feel sort of jealous actually because how many that you have not too far. Not that there isn't some in upstate New York or in the New York area. When we get Patty and Brienne and her family, Dank Tanks. We got All In Tanks. We got Tim Carter. We've got
Bottom Dwellers.
The other Bottom Dwellers. Yep, Angus. We've got the other Tiffany. We've got Backwards Fish Room and her boyfriend Buffalo Photo. So yeah, there's quite a few too, I guess. I guess I'm just getting to know all of those, and for whatever reason, I sort of fell in with your group, with the Tennessee Fish Mafia. That's probably because of Bob Kaler. Bob, I don't see Bob too much these days. He doesn't come in too much anymore, but he was very, very supportive. I think he's been very busy lately, but he was very supportive when I first started doing stuff. And so I sort of fell in watching a lot of the stuff that he recommended and stuff. So, all right. Anyways.
Absolutely.
So we know where you live. So you do some type of concrete or construction work for a living. What exactly do you do there?
I am what you would call a concrete finisher. See, like the guy that I work with now, we pour concrete driveways, sidewalks, like patios, and now, like before I started working with this guy, I was working with somebody else, and when I was working with them, we was doing what they called stamped concrete and coloring. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is basically like that's where you're getting into like the more fancy side of the concrete.
Yeah. Make it look like it's not concrete.
You're right. And I'll be honest with you, it looks pretty, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah. I've seen some of it, especially the stamping part of it. Oh, real quick too, before we go any farther, to everybody in the chat, most people have, they come and go and have been here a million times already. We don't look at the chat at all the first half hour of the conversation. So if you're saying hi and stuff, I'm sorry, we don't really look at it. It's just going to be Robert and I talking. And then the second half of the chat, we'll open it up to all the questions and everything, and we'll say hi to everybody. So I just didn't want anybody to think that we're ignoring you, but we are. we're ignoring the chat just for now. Okay, so how long have you been doing concrete work in general? How long have you been doing that?
Well, I think I started like around when I was 21, and I'm 32 now. and but if I had to guess, as far as like, off and on total, probably about 7-8 years now.
Gotcha. You just made me feel really old because my son is only 2 years younger than you. So, all right, you can call me Daddy.
Oh man!
Start rumors.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right. Sorry, couldn't help it. So have you done? And did you do stuff before that? I mean, have you had any different careers, or just sort of do different jobs? I mean, have you had an actual different career, or did you just do like little jobs instead before the concrete?
Well, basically, like ever since I could actually start like making my own money, which is like, I guess like around 16 or so, maybe 15. I've always been in like in some form of construction work.
Gotcha.
Because like my mom was with a guy, which she still is, but they're not like um, dating anymore, but they're just really good friends. But anyway, to the point is when I was growing up, him and his brothers, they owned a construction business where they would like what's the word I'm looking for, dirt movers, like bulldozers, track hoes, dump trucks and stuff,
Yeah.
So I've been in that kind of work, off and on pretty much my whole life. And what else I do? And I also worked at a hardwood flooring company that is actually right here beside my house.
Oh, that's
and it, which was nice at the time, because I didn't have to drive. All I had to do was just go out the front door, and I'd probably have to walk like maybe 300 feet, football field away, and there it is,
nice.
But I quit that because I topped out at a pay that I wasn't satisfied with.
Gotcha.
And so I just moved on, and but for some odd reason, ever since I started doing concrete work, then I would help somebody for a couple of years, and then I would quit and go do something else for a while. But concrete always brought me back.
Gotcha.
because I guess I just know how to do it, and it just comes to me natural.
Yeah.
And in the summertime, it's kind of nice to be home, by like 3:00 at the latest or so.
Yeah. Yep. I did construction work in Arizona. I did the trim work, with my father-in-law, and I didn't do it for that long. Actually, I was a stucco hottie too. I was the guy who mixed up all the mud and stuff and put it in the wheelbarrow and then brought it up on the scaffolding for the guys doing the mud. But then I did IT work for State Farm, and we were getting ready to move to New York, and my contract was up, but I needed about 3 months to 6 months of work before we were ready to move. And my father-in-law offered me a job. So I went to work with him and just, doing the molding and stuff, the baseboards and stuff like that, using a coping saw to get the corners just right so they were fit flush. And it was okay. But the same thing, you're in Arizona, we were done working by, 1:00 in the afternoon. And my father-in-law liked his beer quite a bit. So we would usually stop at the store on the way home, and we both get a 18-pack of beer. I guess it was cases back then. They didn't sell 18 packs yet. We both get a case of beer and then go do a side job somewhere and drink a case of beer apiece. Up on a roof in 110-degree weather, swinging a hammer and drinking tons of beer. It's not a good combination.
Whew. I mean, I couldn't imagine how the stomach must have felt when you got done, in that hot weather.
I wasn't feeling a thing.
That stucco, it takes some art to do that. I mean, because you put it up on there, then you got to like what you call skip trailing. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of art to do that. You know, that's something I ain't never done, and my hat's off to the ones that do it, because you know,
I mean,
because I could imagine you'd be wore out.
Yeah, my part was easy mix. Well, I shouldn't say easy. You know, there's lime in the mix, and you would go through a really heavy pair of gloves in a week because of all the lime that was in there. It would just eat the gloves. So, but anyways, so do you see yourself? I mean, do you have any plans to do anything else right now? Are you looking towards the future, different stuff, or do you think concrete's going to be it for a while?
Well, I mean,
it pays the bills.
Yeah, you know, yes, of course, I would love to get a job to where you know what I mean, that I can make the money I do now, and just sit in like a really nice, comfortable chair when it's really hot out, and then you got AC on, and you know, yes, I would love to do a job like that, but I mean, I just don't know exactly. You know, I don't have a certain job in mind. You know, but of course, you know, like, I don't want to do this work. You know, like until I'm older or whatever.
To your mind,
you know,
go ahead and say it.
I mean, because I have to be honest with you, like, yes, I am only 32 now, but man, I mean, like, it will wear you out. I mean, you know, I mean, you just see, like, for example, you know, like, when it was really cold, you know, I used to stay on live streams 24/7. I used to watch everybody's live streams. And now that now that it's getting nice out and we got work every day, you know, there's some days I come in and you know, like yes, although you know people don't see me in the chat because I'm not saying hi, but I am you know, like watching the stream, you know, but just sometimes I just get so tired, you know, that I'm like, oh man, there's like 60 people in here, and if I say hi, then I got to say hi to each one of them. You know, I guess it's being lazy. You know what I mean? You know, but by me saying that, you know, I don't mean anything bad about it, but I mean, just you just wore out.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm retired, but I still, there's sometimes when I do have that same type of feeling where you just don't, whatever. Maybe there's a little bit of depression going on or whatever. You just don't feel like being that chatty, but you want people to know that you're still being there to support them. So I get it. Usually I just say, you know, I'm not, I can't chat today, but I'm here. You know, hey everybody, I'm here, and then that's it. That's all I say, and I still watch it, but at least they know you're there supporting them. You know, so I get that. All right, let's talk about something that is probably. I don't know if I want to say it's difficult for you to talk about, but your speech impediment, the stuttering. Have you had it your entire life?
As far as I can remember, yes.
Okay.
And you know, like, of course, you know, like Bob Kaler knows this as well. You know, like, but it's not bad, you know, like, until I get sort of like nervous or excited.
Gotcha.
I guess, so to speak. That's when it comes on. You know, like now, you know, I'm trying my best not to do it because I'm just trying to take my time. But there's still certain like words or whatever that gets me hung up, or certain like, you know, like certain like letters or numbers.
Gotcha.
But I would say, you know, that the main thing that causes it is just more like being nervous and just thinking, you know, they're like, okay, now people watching me and people knows I do it, and they're just like expecting me to do it. I don't know if that makes sense or not, you know, but
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
And you know, like, I just have like good days and bad days. Like, there's some days I can wake up and, man, you know, it ain't so bad. Then there's some days, you know what I mean, that like I can tell it's bad and I won't say much.
Gotcha.
You know, and I don't know what triggers it, but well, I mean, that don't make no sense. I mean, I just said what triggered it,
Yeah,
but I don't know why it does it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
Yeah, it
but
does. So you try to manage your anxiety and stress the best you can to keep it down. But even when you do that, there's still certain ones that, like you said, certain phrases or certain whatever, maybe a mouth movement or something that can set it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Like I have been doing research, when I was younger and stuff, certain people in the family was wanting me to go to these classes, whatever, and I done all of that. But the thing of it is, it's like those classes don't teach you nothing that I don't already know. They teach you just to calm down, relax, and just take your time and say it slowly. Which is I already know that, but like a person can't really understand it until you actually do it. What it is.
Gotcha.
And so, I mean,
has it had a big effect on your life? I want to say a negative effect because maybe there is some positives to it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But has it had a big negative effect on your life? Has it caused you any problems or strife with friends and family and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, like mainly when it did is when I was younger, going through school and stuff. Of course, because like kids can be just buttholes. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
assholes, and like, and like there has actually been certain jobs that I wanted that I didn't go for or didn't get it because of my speech. Because you have to have a good verbal speaking skills, so to speak.
Yeah.
And of course that, and and then of course, like you get, some girls out there, that you just want to get with or date or whatever, and then they get snobby, because you're different, and then they turn you down. But I mean, but I've learned that as I gotten older, the side effects of it, I guess you want to say, is a lot less than what it is when you're younger.
Yeah.
And
you've accepted it more than but also like we talked about before, once you get older, most of the time, the people that you're around, they're not kids anymore. They're adults, and either they've been around you long enough and they know that that's part of you, or they're adult enough to realize that it doesn't mean anything about you in any way. Like it doesn't, it's just that it's part of you. That's all there is to it. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Like for the longest time, it really had me, I guess, bounded some days, like, because there'd be certain activities that I wanted to like engage in, so to speak, and I couldn't because of the speech impediment, and I guess of having the fear of being let down, made fun of, or like rejected in some kind of way.
Sure. Yeah.
And like, and it's like you said, like, as you get older, everybody who knows you, it's no secret. They know that you do it. And of course, as you get older, those people who once, like might have joked around or whatever, they don't do that no more because it's part of growing up.
Yeah.
And and I've actually just, like I catch myself, I guess like making fun of myself a lot sometimes on streams. I've done it, you know what I mean? And because I just got to the point now that I just really am embrace it, so to speak, and just like, hey, it's who I am, and it ain't gonna change. So I mean,
yeah, and you can see in the streams and stuff like who your friends are. And I just saw him in here, Mr. Kaler. The one time he said something to you about you stuttering something hillbilly or something, and I was like, wow, that was rough, Bob. But you could tell that you knew it was 100% just having fun, and that he was a friend. Just sometimes friends do make fun of you in the worst possible way because they know you so well. They know how to really get in there,
Right.
So,
yes, absolutely. Yes.
Well, it's good that you have embraced it, especially if there's no way around it. It's just a part of who you are. I mean, it's great that you have come to accept it. And, it is tough to deal with, but like you were saying before, when we were talking about it and before the stream, every single person you deal with every day, you don't know what kind of baggage they have. You don't know what kind of life they've led. You don't know. So just having a little bit of understanding and acceptance of those people goes a long way towards making everybody happier and to, reduce conflict and strife, Give people a little benefit of the doubt. Maybe somebody didn't mean what you thought they meant, Really, when it comes down to it, most people, when they get to be adults, again, I'm using most, aren't assholes. They really aren't.
Right.
Most people want to be part of something, and most people are decent people. You're always going to have those assholes out there, but I think that they're a lot farther apart than what we think they are. So, anyways.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how hot or sexy or rich or poor you are.
Thank you, by the way. You're talking about me, right?
Everyone.
I said you like daddy.
It doesn't matter who you are out there. Everyone has a issue that bothers them in some way. I mean, like a person could have a mole in a spot that they don't like, or a person can have a birthmark or whatever the defect is. Then that the people who you talk to every day may not be able to see it, but deep down that person has something going on in their life that bothers them. And I don't care who you are, it's going to be like that anywhere you go.
Yeah, because there's nobody perfect. There's people
Absolutely.
There's some that might think that they're perfect, but we all have our defects, and I agree. We're all human, and that's what makes us so much fun, is that we're all different, and we all have those different types of defects, and I don't know, that's what makes life fun, is dealing with all those types of things. And I know I said I wasn't gonna look at the chat, but Bob said he was making fun of my age, so I showed him some love.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Fair game.
You were picking on him pretty hard in that one.
Yeah.
And then he came out with that. And I was like, oh, damn.
Well,
Bob just dropped the gloves.
Well, I got to say, that was a good one. I mean, he got me good. and that being said, everyone out there, think twice before you mess with Bob Keller, because I'll be honest with you. He is the Codfather. So just watch out.
Yeah.
But I love Bob to death, though. I mean, he's awesome.
I don't know Bob. I know a lot about Bob. And what I do know about Bob is, I agree, he's an awesome guy, and he's very supportive, and another person that's a huge part of the fish fam. So, okay, thanks for talking about that. I know sometimes those types of things can be tough to talk about, but I think that, again, it's a part of who you are, and I think by talking about it and by sharing it with the group, and people know. I just think it lessens it, the negative part of it. I think it lessens
absolutely
the negative part of it. It's like shining a light on it.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. Because it's nice to just let the people who don't know about it so that way when it comes up, they're not shocked. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, that just Bobby or Robert or Tennesse Aqua. I mean, it ain't no surprise. I stutter,
Now, I'm glad you just said that, exactly how you said that, because we talked about this, and you told me that you prefer to go by Robert. That's your name that you prefer to go by. But yet I still see so many people calling you Bob and Bobby, and what's the deal with that? What's going on with that? You should tell them. I always call you Robert.
Yeah. Well, see, yes, my name is Robert, and yes, there's people out there who calls me Bobby. But they do that because this topic came up one day, and I said that my name is Robert, but I've got people who do call me Bobby or whatever. Now, that being said, it doesn't bother me whatsoever being called that. But here's the thing, and I told Bob Keller this because Bob has came to my house, a couple times, and I said, look, it's okay to call me Bobby, but just don't do it in front of my mother because that's my dad's name. And that being said, at the time when my mother signed my name to the birth certificate or whatever, she didn't know that that was his real name. You know what I mean? I mean, like she just, I guess, knew him as what all his friends call him, I guess, so to speak. And of course, yeah, and but I probably said that wrong a little bit, because it's been so long ago since I heard the story. But anyway, to make a long story short, she hates him. Yeah,
so and that hear that name.
No, and like especially, I mean, like she don't like when somebody calls me that. She's all because when somebody says that name, she just thinks that is I hate that name. That's just what. So this is I'm just saying, you know what I mean. That's why, but it's okay.
So, but and I told you this before on Skippers, because his first name is Thomas, and your name's Robert. My first name is Robert. I go by my middle name, which is Richard, so I go by Rick. But my brother's name is Thomas, so he was Thomas, and you were Robert. That was me and my brother. So it was just sort of interesting.
That's cool.
And you were talking about that though. So, family. What you're not in a relationship. We've talked about that before. You're not seeing anybody right now. Have you been in a serious relationship? Have you ever been married, or have you been in a long-term relationship?
Well, I have.
Did they know it?
Well, only partial of the time, I guess. Let's see though, I don't have any kids, but see though, I was with someone for about 4 years, I want to say, and she had 2 kids, 2 sons. One was, I think, 6, and the other one was 2. I think if that's correct. But anyway, back to long story short, their real dad wasn't really around them, and I guess I became the stepdad or whatever type deal, and I did get really attached to him, and then but as time goes on, that's when you start learning about everybody's secrets,
No.
and that's when you start learning about who a person really is. Dating is one thing, but it's actually moving in with that person and finding out more about them, because that's when you find out. Well, that happened, and then we got a house together, and but to make a long story short, she wasn't as faithful as I thought.
Uh,
And then at the time, that when I was going to work and making sure that we had food on the table and lights paid for, somebody else was making sure that she was good and serviced, I guess, so to speak.
I don't have any patience for cheaters, people who cheat. If you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship. That's all there is to it. If you're cheating, get the hell out of the relationship right then and there. That's all there is.
Absolutely. And I trust me. I like kids. I don't have nothing against kids. I just never had any of my own. And I guess it was two things involved with that. One thing is I didn't want to go through what I saw a lot of people that I knew go through, with child support and separation and having to deal with all that. And I guess I was just being really careful. But because of that one relationship, I would prefer not to date anyone that has kids. But just because that was really hard for me. Yeah. On the with the kids' sake of it, what I mean, the kids' side of it, and but I also got to realize and embrace that, like, at my age, the chances of you finding somebody without no kids is slim to none. Yeah, especially around my area. So
you're saying in Tennessee, there's not too many single women without kids. Okay.
Unless you get them when they're, like, I guess 20.
Yeah.
But still yet, I mean, at somebody my age trying to relate to a 20-year-old, it's hard to do. Yeah. And plus too, I mean like even in my town, most of them are pregnant like when they're 17, 18. So it's kind of like very slim pickings.
Yeah. Now, did you ever see those kids at all? Do you have any kind of relationship with those kids today at all? He probably doesn't want to.
Well, I mean, sadly, no. Yeah. But I mean, like, she has tried to contact me, probably about 6 months ago, but I just ignored it because like, yeah, I mean, well, she actually had 2 chances.
Oh.
Yeah, but she said the first time I was just stupid and blind, I guess, so to speak. But the second time, it's kind of like one of them. Okay, with the first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me, type thing.
Yeah.
So
you knew you weren't going to put up with it for a third time.
No.
Excuse me. Okay. It's a little bit after 7, so I actually have more questions for you, but I know, like I said, I know Rachel's over on Alex's stream right now, and I sort of want to end this right at 7:30 tonight so that people can get over and watch. And the people that are here haven't left. Although there's 36 people in here, so I bet most people are doing double duty. They're watching both streams. Or he might not even started. He might not even have started yet. And again, nothing against you as my guest or anything, but
right.
We can't with that level of awesome.
Exactly. I mean, like, you got two fantastic people there who are way smarter than me. So trust me, there's no hard feelings whatsoever.
All right, so let's sort of go through the chat then. And hey, everybody, good to see you. Like I said, there's 34 people in here watching. I really appreciate you all coming in, getting to know more about our friend Robert. If you have questions for Robert now, it's a good time. And my daughter said A. I think she wanted to say more, but she put an A. So if you have questions, and again, I'm not going to go back through the chat and say hi to everybody, but there's a lot of awesome people in here, just like there always is. There's so many great fish fan people. So let's hit up Robert with some questions. He said the only things that are off limit are no, never mind. I was going to make a really bad joke. I won't even go there. Nothing's off limits except for the normal stuff, the religion and politics, and that's not Robert's rule. That's sort of my rule because it can be, just not not a good thing sometimes. We have so many different people in the fish fam that come from all different walks of life. That what? Why y'all looking like you're in the same room? That's my daughter. She said, does it look like our room matches somehow? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I can see that you got like your with the white paint back there on the wall.
Yeah.
And like we both have a door that is brown, I guess.
She's weird. I don't know what's wrong with her. That's like the same room setup, she said. There's something wrong with my daughter. I don't know what it is. Probably the way she was raised, I bet. Has your daughter been drinking, Rico? She is, she's 24. So if she wants to, she's allowed. Although she's working. So. S would like to know if you like sports. Do you follow any professional sports?
Not so much. I mean, I played a couple of sports when I was younger in school and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, like, the only time I watch football is, of course, like on the Super Bowl, mainly because there's a lot of food and like alcohol involved. But
yeah.
But besides that, it's not that I don't like it. I just never really been one of them. It just okay. It's Sunday night football. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes a big difference if you have a team that you can identify with, especially for football. But Mr. Manifesto, good to see you, said, doesn't matter, religion, race, political affiliation, we all taste the same to the fishes. And Dank Tank said, it's the legalization, Rico. And that's New York State legalized cannabis for recreational use. That just happened, and it's actually legal here now. So
oh, nice.
We're finally catching up with some of the other. I was surprised it took this long, to be honest, because as my wife always says, New York State's all about the money, and there's a lot of money to be made. Plus, it's a pretty liberal place, so usually the liberal states are a little more quicker to do those types of things. So she said, "Hold up, I'm only 23. How long to your birthday?" She's 24. Her birthday's in it's the 22nd, so it's coming up quick. You guys are like twins, John McKenzie said. I don't know. He's better looking, but I got better hair.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh man.
In multiple aquariums. Hey, Diego said, yes, twins, especially in the long hair and beard. Fishyman was here. He said, bye, all going back to work. Grumpy Mike said, oh, I get it. Both have 4 walls and both have aquariums. Back to the room. I'm not seeing questions, though. Mary Page Flynn said, you guys brought me into your lives at a seriously tough time in mine, and I love you all. And that sentence right there, for those of you that aren't familiar with Mary Page, is Mary Page to a T. That's the type of person that she is, and she means that 100%. That's not her being, that's 100% pure, real sentiments that she means. So,
absolutely. She is a very, very nice person, and I'm so happy that I got to be somewhat a part of her life, I guess, so to speak.
She's another very, very positive person who has gone through quite a bit, and those type of people are inspirational to see. RB Animals and Collectibles said, I know how Robert feels about speech impediment. I have it too. And then Bob asks about your incarceration years.
Well, yeah. Now
You know,
I've been to jail a couple of times when I was
he always
younger.
says that, but I knew that you actually had, because I don't remember what stream we were on, or maybe it was Jess's or someplace we were on a stream, and you actually talked a little bit about it, that you had been in jail. So do you feel like talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, I can. Yeah, I mean, ain't no
What'd you
problem.
do? What'd you do?
Well, I mean, it just goes back to being young and stupid. Well, young and dumb,
Yeah.
and the other saying, but we can get into all that. But anyway, um, like it was mainly just like like getting caught with like like marijuana
Oh,
and stuff like that. I mean like um and then after that, I went back a few times because of violation of probation.
oh,
But but I've never really spent a long amount of time in there, because I think that the longest time I've ever spent in there was probably like a month, and that was it. But the other times is maybe like 2 days here, 5 days there, But
when was the last time?
um, the last time was probably about 3 years ago,
Okay.
and and that was a probation violation. But that being said, that was actually the court system's fault on that one, because at the time I got put on probation, on my court date that I got my probation sentence, there was a probation officer in the courtroom present at the time, and the judge and the district attorney did not give me, well, they did not tell me which probation company to go to, and because of me going to one before, I just assumed I went to that one. Well, anyway, for about 8 months, I was going to that one, and I was going to the wrong one, and I didn't know it, and I was paying them money. Whether one day I was headed to a job, and I get pulled over for no seatbelt, and next thing I know, I figured I was gonna get a seatbelt ticket going out my day, Next thing I know, he's asking me to step out of the car, put my hands behind my back, all because that I got it's a warrant for my arrest for violation of probation. Well, I go in there on a Friday, meaning that you don't have court Saturday and Sunday, so I had to sit there the whole weekend. So I sat there, and on Monday morning I go up there finally, like around, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock, and the judge, was like, so like. So, son, please explain to me why you wasn't going up to see your probation officer. I said, well, I'll be delighted to. I was going to my probation officer, but apparently you guys did not tell me which one to go to, and two, the company I was going to, they didn't have my paperwork when I first went there. So that company should have saw that I wasn't assigned to them.
Yeah.
But they took my money anyway for 8 months. So that's what happened. And then he goes, "Oh, well, it sounds like to me this is like it's a big mishap or whatever." I'm like, "Huh? What do you think?" I just had to sit in jail all weekend for a mishap, huh? And then afterwards, he just like, "Well, sorry about that, and I guess go to this one and report to this one." And I was trying to get the company who I was going to first to get my money transferred over, but nothing ever happened. So basically, I got the bad end of the stick on that one. So
private corporations have no business being in any form of government, and that's probably gonna upset some people in the chat, but we have for-profit prisons, and we have for-profit the companies you were talking about just now. They just ripped you off of $800, and you have no recourse. And yeah, you're right. They could have easily have said, "Oh no, we don't have your paperwork. You don't go here," and then you would have known. right? Then you would have known, and you would have gone and found out who the other person was.
And on top of that, every day that is now. Well, I mean, of course it may be different, throughout the other states, but here you get charged every day that you are in jail. They charge you every day that you're in jail, and so then I've got charged for 3 days of being in jail plus court cost just for a mishap.
Yeah, messed up. And those types of stories we hear so often, and we need a massive overhaul of the entire system.
Absolutely,
it's crazy. Well, now you made me angry.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to be angry. You don't like me when I'm angry. All right, Patty wanted to know if I missed TN recounting the crazy high school years. Not too much. No, we didn't really talk too much about your high school years. Did you have anything major that happened, or any, anything sticks out from your high school years?
Well, I mean, I didn't really have a real interesting high school years stories to talk about. I mean, of course, there was a couple wild parties or whatever, but I guess if I had to pick one, which just also goes back to the whole stuttering thing, because when I was in grade school, I got made fun of a lot and everything, but then I got in high school, and then I discovered, the whole working out deal and everything else. Then I started going to those competitions, with the bench competitions and everything.
Oh.
So I started going to them, and then after I started getting bigger in size, whatever, the whole making fun of thing kind of went away, But that being said, I never claimed to be a badass, because I'm not, but the main reason why I did it was because hoping that would fix it, and it did, and I kept doing it because it was fun. But now, the time I get off work, I mean, who the heck wants to go to the gym and go pick up heavy stuff after you just got through pouring concrete?
And I think that's exactly the kind of story Patty wanted to hear about you working out and stuff. I think that's exactly where she wanted to go. So you probably just made her night. Mr. Manifesto would like to know what kind of fish you like to keep.
I like. I'm really liking the the nano top fish, and like the neon tetras, and I got some dwarf rainbow pracox fish, and I'm getting into the pistos, pistogrammas a lot, and but as far as catfish goes, my favorite catfish, there's actually 3 different species of them, but they're all a close cousin to each other, which is the Synodontis luciopinus, the Synodontis motipentatus, and the petricola. And but I got 2 of them species. I'm just working on the Synodontis luciopinus.
And did you see that on Rachel's site? Did you see the?
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna need to do some more research on that because I was seeing there's a lot of based on by weight and everything and overnight or whatever. So I'm gonna have to really look into that. So that way, you know what I mean, that I can get a really, really good idea about how much I'm looking at.
Yeah, it was confusing how it was written up on there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But I am happy that you showed me that though, because it actually gives me a hope of getting them.
Especially if it's all 4 for that price. I mean, that would be pretty.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And people were talking about, Rachel O'Leary again. She actually has those synodontists that Robert's looking for available on her website. So let's see. Aldheim, who's my daughter. What's your favorite kind of condiment? Ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise.
Well, I like ketchup. I mean, I tend to put way too much on everything, but yeah, that'd be my favorite.
Chalupa No Tomato said, me and Robert have too much in common. Been to jail and terrible taste in women. I spent a night in jail. I mean, when I was a kid, I went to jail. We're not talking prison. We're talking just jail. And they always, in the mornings, they always serve you blue eggs, and everything's blue. The food's like blue. It's weird. That was in Arizona. But then I did, as an adult here in New York State, spend a night in jail for a speeding ticket. I didn't remember I had, because we came up here for vacation to decide if we wanted to move here. We did a month-long vacation in 2 different places to see which one we wanted to live in. And I got a speeding ticket while I was doing that. And then we went back to Arizona for another, I was like 3 years. So I just totally forgot about it. We moved up here. I never got any paperwork or anything. I think at the time, New York State and Arizona didn't have any extradition at all. So I never got any paperwork. But when I got up here, they had a warrant for my arrest, I guess. So I spent a night in jail.
No.
And that sucked. But
yeah, I don't wish jail on nobody.
No, it's not a place you should be. Let's see. Patty said, I think Bobby needs a spanking. I'm not sure, Patty, where you're going with that, but I think I know, and I think I should just skip along here.
I've been a bad boy.
And Mike said you and Bobby would enjoy it too much, Patty.
Yeah.
Let's see. Geez, it just jumped on me. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's. Okay. And hey, everybody that just came in or has been in, I didn't say hi to. I see Crystal. I see a whole bunch of people. I appreciate it. I didn't go through and say hi to everybody, but I appreciate each and every one of you being here with us. There's still 27 people in here, which is pretty good. Again, because Rachel is over on Alex's channel. So, and just a quick plug. I was actually talking with Rachel today, and she agreed to come up and let me interview her. We still have to nail the time down, but I think it might be this upcoming Saturday. So I get to interview Rachel O'Leary, which, my goal with doing all of this is to help out the small channels, but I don't think I can do that unless I get some clout and get to interview the people like Sean Peck and Bentley and Rachel O'Leary and those what I consider big channels to help me shine a spotlight on channels like Robert and Grumpy Mike and Roxanne, all the people that are in all my peers. That's why I want to interview Rachel, first of all, because she's awesome and she does so much for the hobby. But secondly, because I'm hoping that it'll shine a spotlight on me, which allows me to shine a spotlight on people like Robert. So that's my whole goal there. And by the way, can somebody go look?
Thank you very much.
See how many pineapples, check valves. I don't care. I think you can call them subs. How many subs does Robert have? And if you're in here right now and you're not subbed to Robert, please go take a look and just hit him up. Let's see.
Thank you very, very much, and also congratulations on your interview with Miss Rachel O'Leary, because she's awesome, and I mean that is just fantastic. That you're going to get to have her on your channel.
I'm shocked because again I've had Sean Peck, who's somewhere around 50,000. I have Alex from the Secret History. It's somewhere around 20. Bentley, I don't know how many he's got, around 20. all these big people, and here I am with like 350 type of people to I don't know, come slumming, basically come out of the ghetto and check us out. This, it's just very cool, and I'm very, very, very excited to have Rachel come on the show. But again, I'm just as excited. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just as excited, Robert, to interview you, but I am very excited. I mean, like I said before, I'm not going to lie to you. Rachel, way up here.
Absolutely.
But you're still an awesome person. I consider you a friend. I appreciate what you bring to the Fish Fam, and your positive nature and just the fun that we've had in streams and stuff. I appreciate all of that. So I was really happy to have you come up as well. Maybe Rachel's at a different level, but I'm still very excited for you to be here.
Thank you very, very much. And she has earned where she's at as far as with the fish hobby and the family and stuff. All because she has been doing this a lot longer than I have, and I mean she, because I've only been in the Fish Fam for like 1 year now. I mean, and be honest with you, I did not know that the Fish Fam was so big, and I did not know that like on YouTube had a spot where fish people just hang out. I didn't know any of this until I started. I come across like Corey from the Aquarium Co-op, and then I started. I remember one night I seen Kenny stream. And I seen Kenny stream because of Lucas Bretz did a tour at their house, and then I typed in his name and pulled up his channel, and then as time went on, I just slowly started getting to each person that I know now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, and like with a Fish Fam is just awesome.
It's a web, we're all connected, and all the positive people. It's just an amazing thing. And again, I've been in a lot of communities over my life, way back into the 90s when you used to have to dial into BBS and stuff, and never have I. And I've been doing stuff with the Fish Fam since about September of last year was about when I started really getting into like James and Chattanooga Ed into their channel and stuff. And then that's sort of where, same with you though, Corey was my introduction. And then maybe I think it was, KG Tropicals, and then James and Ed. And then it started to spread out like crazy. But that was last September, and I just remember being so welcomed in almost every place I went. There was a couple places that maybe not so much, but every place else has been so welcoming and supportive, and just, you go into a room, into a stream, and everybody's saying hi to you, and earlier you said that, sometimes you don't want to say hi to everybody because you're tired. But in some ways, that is just so heartwarming. People are saying, everybody's saying, hey, Rico, or, it makes you feel good. You're part of a group that is so welcoming. It's just awesome. All right.
Absolutely.
Bob Kaler wants to know, ask him about being expelled.
Expelled.
Did you go to school?
I've gotten expelled maybe 2 times that I could think of, but it's so long ago. I mean, I know that I got expelled once for fighting, and I got expelled once. Oh yeah. Oh man. Like we had a baby powder fight on the bus. And don't ask me how it got there, because it was so long ago. I don't know why or how. I mean, if anything, like a person might have had some chafage or something. I don't know. And they pulled it out, and then all of a sudden it went everywhere. And then we just all went crazy. I don't know. But bottom line is like me and about I think 5 other kids got expelled for it because the time we got homes to our destination, there was baby powder all everywhere. And like like everybody on the bus was, like nobody on the bus went home without having it on them. Yeah. I mean, a couple of us looked like we had a sheet over us, because we were just so powdery and white. I mean, and the time I got expelled, that time I never forget it because I couldn't sit down for like 2 days because I got whipped and spanked, and and
how old were you?
I want to say I was like 12.
Oh, okay.
In that range.
Yeah.
And
I got in trouble for white powder too, but it wasn't baby powder. Patty said he went from Tennessee not to Tennessee hot. All right, here's another one from Bob. Bob's killing it. Oh, it jumped on me. Ask him about something about kicking your fish out.
Kicking my fish out.
There it is. Ask him about kicking his fish out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. The only thing that I can think of that he might be talking about it is that time that I had some fish that I rehomed them to Bob. I had 2 Geophagus. I want to say they're the Geophagus Heckle eyes, and I also had a breeding pair of Crebensis that I let them take. And but as far as that goes,
you didn't want to deal with the Crebensis anymore, or?
Well, let's see. Like the tank that I had them in, I just had a different what's the word I'm looking for? Stocking and like a different escaping ideal I was going to do with it, right. and I've actually got it to basically what I'm going to do with it for now on, and basically it's the one that's got all the neon tetras and the rainbow fish and everything in it, because at the time with those certain fish I couldn't really put what I wanted in there without the Crebensis terrorizing everything.
Oh, gotcha.
And I couldn't put smaller fish because, of course, they would kill them, and because of them constantly wanting to breed, it didn't matter what you put in there. I mean, just to see like those Crebensis would even terrorize the 2 Geophagus. Wow. So, and at the time, I just knew that Bob had plenty of tanks, and it just came up one day. I was asking him if he wanted them. He said, yeah. So, just one thing led to another.
I'm curious if I'm going to have that same issue because I did get 6 Crebensis from Jess that are going in that 75 with the rose lines, and so I'll just have to pay close attention and see. Now, she didn't sex them; she has no idea because they're not very old.
Well, I can tell you this: the females will have a purplish belly.
Yeah.
And now and of course when it comes to any fish, it just depends on which one that you get. Because a person can go buy like a type of what's some Oscars called, like a tiger Oscar, and that thing could be the sweetest thing in the world.
Sure.
And then like somebody else can have one and it just kills everything.
Yeah.
And, but from my experience with them, whatever, they will do what they call a false chase, which like they will chase off with the other fish in your tank to a certain point, and then they just turn around and go back. But I have seen them go up to the fish and actually hit them.
Yeah.
And bite them. So I mean,
what size tank did you have them in too?
Well, with that pair that I had, I had them in a 40 breeder at the time that I gave them to Bob. But like before then, I did have them inside of a 20-gallon high. But I had them just them by themselves in there.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully the 75 and it's heavily planted will help.
Yeah,
I got to scroll down and hit a couple things here. I'm looking at it in StreamYard, and it's so much farther ahead. Bob, I didn't know that you offered me any crebensis. I must have missed that. I would have taken you up. I didn't know that you. I would definitely have bought some fish from you instead. I didn't know you had any that you were offering me. I must have just. You probably said it to me, and I probably it went right over my head. I just didn't notice it. So I apologize if you were looking to get rid of them or, anything like that. Let's see. Greg the Guppy guy says, "I'll take you two over them two any day." Well, you're a crazy son of a bitch. Greg, because Alex is awesome, and I get to interview him next week.
Thank you, Greg.
And yeah,
awesome.
I appreciate that. Let's see. Let's keep scrolling down. Oh, you had 115. So now you're at 116 subs.
Oh, nice. Thank you, everyone.
And there's Mr. Furlow. Oh, there's a bunch of other people that came in. Jeannie Campbell. Did I say hi to Brianne? I don't know if I did. Petroman's in here. I don't know if I ever said hi to. I didn't say hi to everybody, but Alex Kerbin. I'm not sure if I know Alex, but nice to see you. T-Bone. T-Boney's in here.
I do got to give a shout out to someone. Speaking of Miss Brianne, she actually made me a new logo for my channel, and I just want to give a shout out to her and tell her that I love it, and thank you so much for it. And she couldn't have did a better job on it. It's awesome. And I do encourage everyone to go check her channel out. I mean, like, she is a younger hobbyist, and she knows her stuff. And this is the logo that she made me.
Very cool.
Now that is a Synodontis multipuntatus catfish.
We talked about those whenever. I don't remember when it was, but I went and looked them up after you and I had talked on somebody's stream, and I almost bought those. I almost went with some Synodontis, but I went instead with those spotted Raphaels instead. But I still might get some Synodontis for one of the tanks. And Bob Kaler wants you to know that Patty wants to powder you. And Eric said a baby powder fight is better than a baby oil fight.
Well, I mean, like, like, as far as the baby oil, that's not fun when it comes to like guys involved.
Eric said, I mean, getting pegged in the head with a bottle of baby oil would hurt.
Oh,
I agree that the pegging would hurt, Jalupa.
Yes.
And we're not going to talk about pegging. It's a genre of adult entertainment, and we're just going to leave it right there. I was just giving them away. They're not big enough yet. Bob, man, I apologize. I totally missed that. Maybe I'm still interested. I got 6 of them coming from Jess, So if you want to give them away, and you got 2 of them, I am interested in them. You know, let me at least pay for shipping at the very least. But yeah, I mean, because I think 8 in that tank would be okay. And
75 gallon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it is. I mean, I've got 7 of the rose lines. I got 10 of the ruby barbs. They don't get very big. 3 of the spotted Raphael. And then I also bought a bunch of CPDs, but it's not for sure that they're going into that tank. I'm not sure what I'm doing with those yet. I got them because I only had 1 female. I have 6 CPDs now, and I only have 1 female. So I just wanted to get some more females from that. Hopefully I get some. So Ricky wants to know, what's your dream fish? Is it that Synodontis right now, or do you have a bigger one?
That's a good question. I mean, you know, just because of I am considered a newbie, I guess, or a semi like like amateur. Yeah, I've had fish tanks off and on throughout the years, but this year is the first year that I actually know the whole cycle. You know, with the nitration cycle, whatever, the nitrates, whatever. And that being said, you know, because there's so many fish out there that I don't know about yet. With the Synodontis luciopinus is the one fish that I would pick, you know, and it's mainly because I just want those 3 species, so that way I can have 3 separate colonies of them, because my goal is to breed them, I guess, and just, you know, just like get them, yeah,
give them out
just to get them out more. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All three of them are beautiful fish, all of them. Let's see, it's 7:45. Is Diego still in here? Diego, let me know if you're still in here. I believe you go at 8. Let's see. We got the dream fish. Let's see. Bob said, "Who got the label for you?"
He did.
Yeah, I figured that just because how he said it.
Yes, he did. Yes. Yes. See, like, since actually we was on his stream, and you know, and we got a conversation about my current logo, which I did, you know, with the logo I had, which was great. I loved it, but it had a shrimp on there that I do not own, and that shrimp is a Charadina species, which is a blue bolt, and you know, and I just don't see myself ever having one. I'm not saying I never will. I just not anytime soon. I just want something I do have on there. Yeah. But bottom line is, I mean, like he actually, you know, like took my logo and actually sent it to her for me, and was asking her, you know what I mean, to would put what I wanted on there for me, and I do greatly appreciate it, Bob. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, let's see. It looks like what got you into fish keeping? That was from Eric Furlow.
Well, I mean, I've always had tanks off and on since I was like, I think, as far as back I can remember, since I was 6 years old, you know, but for like a few years I just didn't want nothing to do with it, which was mainly because of, you know, just life in general. That wasn't part of my interest. But a year ago, so some things happened in my life, you know what I mean? Don't want to go in a lot of detail about it because I'm ashamed of it a little bit, but I was going through a party stage slash substance abuse, and let's just keep it at that. And I finally got tired of it, and then I got out of that situation, and then And then something just popped into my head, that since I was going to be recovering from getting off of it, I keep a fish tank, I guess to sort of help find like a happy place, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah, no,
And then as that time went on, I just watching YouTube, started discovering everything, and then just sort of, got sucked into it, and but this year's the first year that I've ever had more than one tank. I mean, I've always just had with just one tank at a time, but
that story isn't that rare in the fish fam. Either substance abuse or other health issues or something like that, where you use the term happy place, where people were looking for that happy place and they found it in the fish tanks. I think that's a pretty common thing for a lot of us. I think that's something that does tie a lot of us together, is we're all looking for that thing, and we've just happened to find it, in fish tanks. So
absolutely,
a lot of people are saying, congrats, and good for you. Eric said, proud of you. Don't be ashamed. Wonderful thing to turn to. That's awesome. Everybody just posting really supportive stuff about that. So and
thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
I'll just leave it at that too. So
yeah, I don't wish it on nobody, and I just send a message out there to the people that are going through it. Is there is a lot at the end of the tunnel, but you just have to hit rock bottom, and you got to be sick and tired of it before you ever want to quit.
You've got to want it. You've got to want it.
Yep.
No matter you can know that that's what you need, but if you don't want it, it's not going to happen. Adele, Collaboration of Curiosities, wants to know, what would be your dream setup of money? Oh, if money was no object. Would you go with a massive tank and a bunch of nano fish? What would be your dream setup? A big, huge room with, auto change system and,
Well, considering that there's so many fish out there that I really like, but because of my space and stuff, I'm not able to keep as many as other keepers are. And but yes, if money was no object, I would definitely have me a decent sized house with a basement, and just have a pretty nice size, like the system, with the racks, and I would probably go with like 20-gallon longs, stuff like that, and of course, like to do and just do like a semi auto water change. And I say that because I like to be hands on in my tank somewhat, just to see more about it, to see like if a certain fish is sick, or if I got certain plants that needs to be whatever, I just like to be hands on. So I mean, I kind of went on like a rabbit hole there, but yes, money wasn't no object, I would definitely have one of those big fish rooms that would be set up for like your breeding setup type deal.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there with you. And I do have that kind of basement. It just needs work, and like I said, I still have 2 adult kids at home. We're building an extra room for my daughter and her husband whenever he finally gets to, he's a UK citizen, so he's still working on his American citizenship. Hopefully this year he'll be able to come over to stay, but they're going to have a whole apartment in the basement for them for now, until they want to move to Austin. And then my youngest son also lives at home, and he's got a whole quarter of the basement, just a huge, huge room. So whenever they decide, either one of them decides to move out, which I'm not in any hurry. I love having them here. So, it's awesome to have them here. But when they do move out, that's my goal as well. I'm going to build a room. And I like the idea that you said about the semi-automated, because we got so many tanks, you got to do something to help. But touching those tanks every day, I think, is important. So,
yeah.
You know what? I think we're going to cut it off now because it's 7:53. Diego goes at 8:00. And again, I know a lot of people probably wanted to see our friends Alex and Rachel. And if any of the mods could drop links for Diego and for Alex, that would be awesome. Robert, is there anything that you'd like to say or anything you want to tell people or anything you got coming up or anything?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just want to say thank you to all you fantastic people who was in here, and I greatly appreciate it. And all you guys are awesome. And I want to say to all the people who is lurking or watch this video later, you know, I mean, also thank you so much. And if you and I get it, you know, that life has a lot going on, but just try to show support to everyone you can, and if something goes on, and you get like a type of negative vibe from someone, just try to keep in mind, that you don't know what that person's going through, and just try not to take it to heart. I mean, but that being said, I just hope that everyone has a great night, and just keep being you.
Nice. I agree with all of that, 100%. And I would just like to add to that for the people that do lurk, even if it's not just in this stream, but if you're out there lurking in the Fish Fam streams and not sure if you should dive in and enjoy the fun, get off your ass and get in here. The water's fine. This is a great community. It's very welcoming. Everybody's welcome. And you really should, have some fun with it. It's a great, great community. And it'll be worth your while to come in and hang out with us. And that's about it. Paul just got here. He missed the stream. Yep. Thanks for being here anyways, Paul. Daniel Velez, my friend. I love that he always says, stay well, safe, and healthy. Every time he says that. I love that stuff. So let's end it. And hey, everybody, again, Daniel, you're not seeing the chat, right? You don't have it up, Robert?
I don't have it up.
Is there something you wanted to say to him, Daniel, before we go? You don't think Diego's streaming? I could have swore he was tonight. Actually, hold on. A lot of times Ed will let me know.
I'll go ahead and pull chat up now. Like most time when I stream, because of having issues in certain streams, with connection, I try not to turn it on as much as I can, because like it seems to help with the signal,
the bandwidth a little bit. Yeah, don't worry about the thumbs down, Patty.
I'm not.
I get them on quite a few, and I know there's people out there that just go around looking for it, and it's it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not doing this. If somebody was upset about this or didn't like the stream because we didn't talk about fish, okay, well, there's a plenty of other streams to go to, and you'll find somebody else out there that's talking about stuff that you want to talk about. So just keep searching, and you'll find them.
Absolutely. And it don't matter what you do, you cannot please everyone. So,
yeah. And I don't want to. All I want to do is have some fun and make sure that everybody is having a good time. So, again, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think that this Saturday I will get to interview Rachel O'Leary. If not this Saturday, it will be. It'll be at a later date, but she did agree to do it. We just still have to nail down the exact date. But then next Tuesday, I have Alex from The Secret History, Living in Your Aquarium. And that following Saturday, I have Guppy Guru coming up. So, and then a bunch more people too. I have Mr. Furlow coming up. Hey, there's
Awesome.
Ed right there. Hey, Ed, are you and Diego going live in a couple minutes if you're still in here? Well, it doesn't matter. We should end it anyways, but just wanted to know so we can send people over there. Yeah, Eric's going to be on. Just a ton of people. I have so many. I have it scheduled. Yep, he is. Okay. All right. So everybody go over and see Diego or go see Bentley isn't up for another hour. He goes at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we still have an hour before Bentley, Paul. Yeah. I think I was in the middle of saying something about who's coming up, but just a ton of awesome interviews coming up. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday nights and Monday nights with my buddy Ed for the Geek Fest. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we will see you on the next one. And take care.